Yarnsensation. Just click on my yarn lady or click the subscribe button. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Yarnsensation, and I am so happy that you are here with me today. So what I wanted to share was this cute little crochet notebook that I made, and I will be using the one that I made for my crochet tools. So I just wanted you to check it out. Hopefully you enjoy making yourself one or making one for your friends. And I also included the tools that you would use: a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, magnetic snap. If you want to use another type of closure, that is fine. Grab several stitch markers. I also will show you how to make the cover up that we will be using on our notebook, and also a buckle, and that will be the closure as well for the notebook. And you can find a bead or any cover that you choose to cover your magnetic snap, a couple of split rings, and you can make your little key ring to hang on the side of it, or any type of decoration that you will love to use. And of course, you need your yarn needle and your yarn. I will be using I Love This yarn, and I have two colors that I will be using, so you can choose the colors that you prefer to have for your notebook. Grab your materials and let's get started. To get started, you will start with your slip knot and chain 36. I have completed my chain of 36. So next you will place one single crochet in that second chain from the hook, and one single crochet in each chain across, and we will meet back at the end. I have completed my row of single crochets, and this will be row 1. So next, chain 1, turn your work, you want to place one single crochet in that first stitch and one single crochet in each stitch across, and we will meet back at the end of this row. Okay, I have completed my single crochets across in this completed row 2. Chain 1, turn your work, and the pattern repeats. You will repeat row 2 until you have a total of 33 rows, and that's including our first row as well. So you will have a total of 33 rows altogether, and once you complete that, then we will meet back. Okay, so I have completed my last row. So chain 1, you want to cut your yarn, pull that yarn tail through, and I am on the wrong side of my pattern, so I just placed that stitch marker here as a reminder that this is the wrong side. And I also have a couple of more stitch markers, and I will explain those in a minute. So at this point, you can weave in your yarn tails. I weaved in my yarn tails, so I'm just turning over to the right side. So we completed row 1, and you can count to make sure that you have the right amount of rows, but you know, do this step before you cut your yarn. Row 1, and this will be 2 right here, 1 and 2. So I just start counting with my second row. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, plus that 1. So That's a good way to count. So let's go back to the back side and I will explain these stitch markers. So this will be our cover of our little crochet book. So let me explain the stitch markers that I have placed on the edges. So what we need to do is place our closure. So what I did is just count down 7, and then on that, this is the 8th and the 9th. So right here I wanted to keep that spot, so I'll just be even across, and then on this side we will be placing our little closure as well. So that's the purpose of these stitch markers. So the next thing we will do is add our chain to this piece. So next we want to place the chain at the bottom of this piece. So you want to be at row 1 on this side. Find your center. You can either count over or just eyeball, and you do not want to join at this chain stitch, but go up to the next row and join. Okay, and do that chain and take this yarn tail and just make a couple of ties. And next you want to chain 56. Once you complete your chain, you can cut, pull it through, grab your yarn needle, and just go through that last chain a couple of times, completing a secure knot each time. Weaving that yarn tail and cut it, and just place some glue on that yarn tail to keep it from coming out. Next, weave in this yarn tail, cut this yarn tail, add a little glue there. Okay, so next place this to the side so we can complete the next step. Next, you want to start with your slip knot. And for this next step, you can use the same color as the first piece, or you can choose an alternate color. So I am using a different color for my second part. Next, you will chain a total of 30. Okay, once you have your 30, you want to place 1 single crochet in that second chain from the hook, and 1 single crochet in each chain across, and we will meet back at the end of this row. Okay, so I completed row 1. Next I want to chain 1, 2, turn my work. So the next rows will be double crochets. So in that first stitch, complete a double crochet, and complete a double crochet in each stitch across, and we will meet back at the end of this row. Okay, so I completed my second row, all double crochets across, so that's row 2. So I want to chain 2, turn my work. So next you want to complete a total of 11 more double crochet rounds. All together you will have a total of 12 double crochet rounds plus this row of single crochet. So we got 13 rows for this pattern. complete your rows and we will meet back. I have completed my last row. I want to cut my yarn. Grab your yarn needle and weave in both yarn tails. Once you complete that first piece, then you need to complete your second one. And I just have a stitch marker letting me know that this is the wrong side and this is the right side. Okay, so you'll need those two pieces. So once you have your two pieces, you want to stack them like this, one on top of the other. You'll have the right side facing on this one and right side facing on this one. And then you just need to find your center. And what you will do is stitch these two together going down the center. You want to make a peel like this where it folds in half. So locate your center. If you like, just count your stitches over and find the midpoint and start stitching the two pieces together. Once you have stitched it down the middle, and it should open, close like pages, you can lay that to the side and grab your back piece. And what we will do is remove this stitch marker because we know this is the wrong side. Take your chain and you want to pull on it, not too tight, but you just want to reach the top with it and just place it into both pieces. If it's pulling up like that, then you need to make sure that it is laying flat. Okay. That will be good. Okay, so the next thing we have already marked these two spots, and this will be for our little snap on both sides. So the next thing you will do is take this piece, place it on top, make sure this is out of our way. And the next thing you want to do is grab your yarn and your yarn needle. So you just need to thread some yarn to your yarn needle. And what you will be doing is attaching not the top fold, but the bottom fold. You want to attach it to your back piece. So what you need to do is go through the corner stitch, pull your yarn through, leave a little tail, and you want to pick up a top stitch on this back panel. Do not go to the top. Pull it through, go back through the same stitches, complete a secure knot, feed this yarn tail back to the back side of your page piece. Once you have it to the back, then make 2 knots. And weave your yarn tails to the back side of the page piece. Once you complete one corner, then you want to do the same for each corner, and I have already attached mine. Okay, once you complete that, we will meet back. So next we want to add our magnetic snap or whatever closure that you're choosing to use. Just come along the center, find your midpoint, count over, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Place this around. Once you have your snap, you can add your cover up to that. Just use glue or you can stitch it. I will let that part dry and move on to the next side. Centered. I want to place my buckle. Let's see the edge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I want it to rest right there. And the next thing you can do, grab your yarn needle and your thread. You can remove these stitch markers. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is just stitch from this point around below and back up to this top, and I will do it a second time. Once you finish that, just fasten it off, weave your yarn tail on this side of the work, and we will meet back. So you just want to start at this corner, attaching your buckle to the back side, and we will meet back. To make the cover up, you want to chain 3. You will place 1 single crochet in that second chain from the hook and 1 single crochet in that last chain. Chain 1, turn your work, 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, cut your yarn. Next, you will weave in your yarn tails. To make the buckle, you will chain 5, place 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook and 1 single crochet in each chain across. Chain 1, turn your work. You want to complete 11 more single crochet rows, and we will meet back. Once you have your 12 rows, next you will single crochet decrease over those first 2 stitches, and single crochet decrease over the last 2 stitches. You want to chain 1, cut your yarn, and weave in both yarn tails. Okay, so I made it back around and I just weave the other yarn tail back to this side so I can have both yarn tails on the wrong side of my fabric. Make those 2 knots. Weave the yarn tails onto the wrong side and we will meet back. Okay, so once you have weaved your yarn tails in, the next thing we need to do is place our magnetic snap, or if you're using another closure, that's fine as well. So working from the wrong side of our buckle, you want to come down to the second row and place that snap in there. Okay, so I have completed this side. Come back to this side, remove these clips. Okay, so to this side, I want to cover this up. So you can use any decoration that will cover it. Okay, and I place glue on it, so I'm gonna let it dry. And we added our cover up here. Okay. Okay, trying to get a great angle for everyone. So basically we have completed, but I want to give you a couple of ideas, because when I made this, I was thinking of something I can carry, like when I'm working on a project and I can place my tools, maybe my notepad, pens, pencils, whatever I need, you know, while I'm crocheting, crochet hooks, yarn needles. And for some reason, maybe I was sitting reading a book or using a book and the idea flashed to me. So you could actually add, and I just refer to these as pages, so you could actually add more pages and build it up bigger. Use more chain stitches when you start off, just to have a bigger book if you like. But it's a fun idea. So what I wanted to say also, on this side, you could use it as a pocket from this side. So you could actually put something in here, and that could be like a back pocket. So if you want, you can stitch this side closed, but just remember to use your top stitches to stitch one side closed. You can even stitch one side, you know, the bottom onto the back. That would be fine. So let me show you what else we have, what we did this chain for. Okay, so the chain, I decided to place this to use it to hold my stitch markers. Pretty good idea. Now to keep them there. And let me show you what else we did. So I just wanted to give you a view of the back side. And I added a little handmade little stitch here. Let me turn back over. And this is it semi-closed, and let me open it because I went ahead and added a few items just to show you what I was thinking about. So here's my crochet hook. I stuck it in here. Then you have this back side. You can add things here, and my stitch markers, my yarn needle, and I have writing utensils. You can add more. Have my pair of scissors here, and then in my pocket I have my little notebook, so I can write any little notes I need to make. And if you need more paper, you can also put that in there. And I added one of my little keychains to it as well. You can hook that up top. So let's close it up and see what we have. Nice and thick. See that? And we got, and we can close it up. So let's snap that close. So isn't that a beauty? Okay, so I hope everyone enjoy making one. Make one for yourself, make one for your friends. And hey, just because I use my little notebook for my crochet tools, you can use it for other ideas like placing your earrings in there, jewelry. So much you can do with this, but it just was at the moment I thought of, hey, I can put my crochet tools in here and take it on the go, and it'll all be together when I get there. So I'll see you soon on the next video, and thank you so much for spending a little time with Yarn Sensation.